Hey, what's up? Hello, it's Peyton, and today I'm going to be doing a book review. So, let me tell you guys something. I have a lot of books to review because I want to look back on these videos and see my reaction to reading some of my favorite books. And then I got sick, and I did not film for like 2 weeks. So I'm really behind. So, you're going to have a lot of reviews just coming at you in the next couple weeks, so be on the lookout for that. But today I'm going to be reviewing Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, the second book in the Throne of Glass series. And the feels in this one, just the feels. There isn't going to be a big non-spoilery section because it is the second book in a series. But what you should know is that you need to read Throne of Glass because it is amazing, and it's a high fantasy young adult series about an assassin, girl assassin. You should read it, and when you read it, you think the first one is good, but then you read Crown of Midnight, right? And it's like even better, which you wouldn't think is possible after reading Throne of Glass, but it's possible. So that's kind of it for the non-spoilery section. So bye non-spoilers. Bye. So this book starts out with Selena on one of her assassination missions because she's an assassin now because she won the competition from the first book. And like the first chapter stops with her about to kill one of the targets or whatever. And I'm like, maybe she's not killing them because the chapter just stops before the kill. And I was right, she's not killing them. And Selena just had a bunch of character development because she would have no problem killing people. But now she's like, she doesn't want to kill them. Now I'm thinking it's because of the king. Like, she doesn't want to do anything for the king. I wouldn't want to do anything for the king. So, in Throne of Glass, at the end, Selena, like, breaks things off with Dorian because they had a little relationship, if that's what you call it. And, you know, I'm Team Kill at this point. And I was super annoyed when Dorian would like go in her room and he would ask to be friends, and I wasn't annoyed with Dorian. I was annoyed that Selena like kept saying leave me alone, and she just didn't want anything to do with Dorian. And I'm like, what did he do? Why are you ignoring him is my question. And I'm just like, I don't understand why you're being mean to him. He didn't do anything wrong. And it was just very confusing to me, and I don't know why she was doing that. Okay, while we're talking about Dorian, let's talk about the scene where he leaves the meeting because he didn't want anything to do with the meeting, right? And he leaves and he gets aggravated, and the wall is like cracking up and down, and then the glass is shattering. And you're just like, what's going on? Dorian has magic. He has magic, guys. He has magic. He has magic. Like, that was interesting. I mean, his dad, like, banned magic from the land. And his own son has magic, so that was pretty interesting in my opinion. So we experience a death in this book. Nahima dies. And before we even know she's dead, Kale gets captured by Archer. That's his name. Yes. He gets captured by Archer, and Selena has to go save the day, of course, because that's what heroines do. And she's like, jumping through windows, like throwing daggers at men. And she goes and she saves Kale. Then someone brings up Nahima and how someone's in danger. And Archer blames it on Kale. He's like, Kale, the king or someone, I forgot who, told Kale that Nahima needs to be under protection. And Kale didn't listen. And so Selena was just like, oh, this is Kale's fault. So Selena's just like not even worrying about Kale. She's like sprinting to the castle to go find Nahima. And the poor girl's dead. She's dead as can be. And Selena like goes all crazy and she attacks Kale. And Dorian like doesn't know if he should protect Kale, take Selena off. He doesn't know, because no one's keeping him in the loop. But Selena goes crazy on Kale and like she like cuts his cheek and leaves a scar. That's a big plot point for some reason. And there's nothing. There's no going back. There's just this scene was heartbreaking to me. I love Nahima. She was cool. But I wasn't heartbroken because she died. I was heartbroken because Kaelina, like your heart breaks because Kaelina is like dead. Like she's like pissed off and you're like, are they going to be friends again? What's going to happen here? And throughout the whole book, they like have a relationship and he takes her on a cute balcony date, and I'm like, Kaelina all the way, like yes. But then she goes all crazy and his cheek slashed. I'm like, this ship is gone. It's at this point if you ship them, you're like praying that they get back together. And they don't in this book. They don't. But I will this review's all over the place, but we'll get to that later on. So yeah, in Nahima's like death scene, Selena was running to go get her, right? And Kale described her as running as fast as humanly possible. So that makes you think maybe Selena has magic like Dorian. No. At the end, she like whispers a date in Kale's ear and Kale like figures it out at the very end. Selena doesn't have magic. She's Fae. She's not only Fae, she's a Fae queen. She's a Fae queen, like the lost Fae queen. Mind blown. Again, Sarah J. Maas, you deserve 20,000 awards for this whole series. Wow. Okay, a scene that I really, really enjoyed was when she went to go hunt down Nahima's assassin, and she's like, again, she's jumping through windows, and she like threw a dagger at him against the wall, so he was like stuck, and then she like stapled his, and it was just, she stapled him to the wall, and she killed him because he killed her best friend. And you just don't do that. You don't kill a girl's best friend. That you just, no. A thing that we also learn about in this book is the word keys. Word. I'm gonna call them word keys. And apparently the king has some. And if you collect all of them, you can open a portal or a gate or something, and you become all powerful. Which, let's be honest, the king does not need any more power. He needs less power because he irritates me a lot. I just don't like him. So at the very end, Selena decides she wants to talk to Nahima and find out why she became a martyr, because Nehema apparently died for this cause, for Selena to come back as a Fae Queen. And so Selena decides she wants to open up a portal and call out to Nehema. Obviously, when you call out to a ghost, that it doesn't really end well. It's like a freaking Ouija board. You're not gonna get what you want. And so this could kill Selena. So when Dorian's asleep, the king, the very first king of Ardalan, comes into his dreams, and he's like telling Dorian where Selena is, like down the stairs from her bedroom, and that he needs to go save her because she's about to die. And Dorian can just go save her himself and like get all the credit, but he goes and gets Kale, and that just makes you love Dorian even more. Like, I may be team Kale, but I love Dorian so much. And so during this whole scene, like, there's a portal, and then Selena's dog runs into the portal, so Kale goes after him, and so Selena pushes Dorian out of the way. So Selena runs in to the portal after Kale and her dog, and in this portal, Selena turns back into her Fae form. Like, she's full-on Fae, and Kale sees it. So now Kale knows she's a Fae. And yeah, so at the end of this book, Kale tells his dad that he will go back to his kingdom if he agrees with Kale during a whole meeting with the court for Ardalan, that Selena should go to a mission in Wendelin. And the dad does it, so the king of Ardalan sends Selena to Wendelin to go kill the royal family. And that's kind of where it leaves off. And then Selena tells Dorian that she's coming back for him. And I'm just like, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? So yeah, overall I really enjoyed this book. I zoomed through this in like 2 days, I think, or 3 days. Probably 2. And it was just, the writing was amazing, the plot was phenomenal. I highly recommend. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars for sure. And yeah, expect my reviews on Airfire and Queen of Shadows soon. Bye!